Hi, my name is Chasta Johnson. I'm the co-founder of StockTeamUp.com and the Stock Boss app. And I'm here again with Bill Hammond, the district leader of Primerica in Indianapolis. He just did a video for us on debt. And now I really want to ask him questions about it to really help answer questions that you may have out there about debt and how to reduce your debt and to control it. So Bill, thank you for taking some extra time to discuss it with me.
Sure, thank you.
So I really liked I liked your video or your presentation because it really emphasized the simplicity of what you need to do to get out of debt. Um, for someone starting out, just kind of go again, what's the first thing that someone needs to do after they talk to you and they're starting to get debt free? What's that first step?
Well, the first step is, let's take it back to, we sit down and we look at what their debts are, where it's all coming from: credit cards, student loan, auto loans. This is in general what we do, and we kind of put it into our financial needs analysis. And then we sit down with the client and review all that information they've given us, besides just on the debt. Now, of course, obviously, we're collecting a lot more information to get a clear picture and present to them a plan. And once they've done that, then we are showing them how they can execute the plan with a very simple process of debt stacking. And most people think you've got to have more money in your budget. You've got to find extra money before you can start to do this. And what we show them is, no, you don't have to find extra money. We work with your budget and just show you how to do the process a different way. Pick the first credit card. Let's say it's a credit card. Pay it down, and then you just keep rolling through the rest of the debt that you have, working the process to pay it down. And it may take, a few years. It's not an immediate process, but it's a consistent, disciplined process. And as long as the client is willing to stay with that in general, in a few years, they're going to be debt free, and they will have money available to then go to the next step, which is to save and to invest and just get rid of that stress. They learn how to handle the debt, and their credit score begins to reflect that. And you'd be surprised what in the economy, how that credit score affects you being able to buy a house, buy a car, get insurance, a lot of things that the credit score has an impact on. So if we get it positive, you have more freedom.
So let's say that someone has a credit card with 23% interest on it, and then a student loan with 3%, and a car loan with 10%. Which one should they pay off the fastest and first?
Probably the one that's the 23%, the credit card. That's revolving debt. That's not fixed. And revolving is the most dangerous. Your student loan is probably fixed, and at 3% fixed is pretty good. And your car loan probably is a fixed loan, not a revolving. So the revolving debt is the one we go after first and get that one under control. Then you can roll down through the others, including your mortgage if you happen to have, a home loan.
Now, I'm an investor. My mindset is about investing. For the people you work with, let's say that they're down to maybe just a 2% interest rate loan. It's a student loan. Would you feel comfortable telling them at that point it's time to not just pay that off, but maybe focus on investments as well? Is there a certain point where you feel comfortable switching that mindset of people?
Yes, that when they get their debts down and under control, they have that money freed up. And that's when I get comfortable with it, and we start talking to them first about sliding the money into a savings account or an emergency fund first, or at the same time, both the emergency fund and a retirement or a vacation home that they want to buy. But the first step would be debt control. Then would be the emergency fund or savings account to take care of those flat tires on the car that they normally would put on a credit card, but now they're going to have the cash to pay for it. And then also then start pushing towards helping them get to be their retirement fund, their vacation fund, all those things we can begin to take a look at and start shifting that money to fun stuff instead of paying all that debt off.
Yeah. One question I get asked a lot by friends and family, Bill, I don't know if you know this on me, but I used to I have multiple investment properties.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me about refinancing their home. And I never give them a good answer. I always want to look at the details, but when someone comes to you about that, where do you generally start to help them understand how refinancing works with a home?
We generally start to look at it to see if refinancing is going to help by one, can we get other debt rolled into that refinancing and still keep the mortgage payment roughly the same, not wanting to increase it, too much. Also in our background and with Primerica years ago, we used to do mortgages and do a lot of refinancing, and we would actually work with that, get it done. We don't do that anymore, at least not right now. It was a very effective tool, and I consider refinancing under the right circumstances an effective tool. And that's why we have that financial needs analysis to help us kind of see what tools are available and get a good feel before we have somebody jump off into the deep end.
Awesome. Well, Bill, thank you so much for taking the time with me today. I think debt is very important, especially as we try to teach people to invest. Getting them to invest first comes with getting the debt under control. So I really appreciate you taking the time. This was a very important presentation that I really wanted to share with people. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for letting me participate in your video and your interview. It's kind of something new and different for me, so I appreciate it a lot, and thank you very much. And hopefully it's going to be very helpful for people who you reach out to.
Thanks. Check out Bill Hammond and mine's video at the Stock Team Up channel on YouTube. Thank you. And cut.